Are you a risk taker? Are you a risk taker? Alternative phrasings. Do you often take risks? Would you consider yourself to be a risk taker? How keen are you on taking risks? Why is this question being asked? What does the interviewer want to know? Depending on the job or position that you are applying for, it may be necessary for you to be very, very safe and to avoid taking risks, such as a pilot. If you are applying to be a pilot, your answer should definitely be no, that you do not take risks. But there are other positions, other professions in which being a risk taker is a valuable asset and is necessary to complete the job and is a necessary skill for the job. As an example, if you were a day trader, again, taking risks is an essential part of your job. So, thinking about your job, thinking about your industry, thinking about the position that you are applying for, answer accordingly. Does your job require that you take risks? Then your answer should reflect this. If your job is very straightforward, so to speak, and does not require you to take risks, then your answer should reflect this as well. Depending on your industry, depending on the position, you may want to express that you are not a risk taker. Depending on the position that you're applying for, you may want to respond with no, I'm not a risk taker. You may want to respond with yes, risk taking is essential to my job or to this position. Or maybe depending on what strategy is required, you may want to explain that you are a calculated risk taker, that you often take calculated risks, that you are willing to take chances, but only when you have done the research and calculated and have found that the odds of success are in your favor, or that the odds of success are higher or greater than the odds of failure. Here are a few sample answers. In the first example, the person will describe themselves as a risk taker. Example: yes, I am a risk taker. I believe, or it is my belief, that to achieve real results, you always need to be willing to take a certain level of risk. Pretty much any marketing initiative you launch is tied to risk. You can plan everything from beginning to end, but no matter how well you plan it out, things might just not work out. Things often don't work out as planned. It's simply part of the job. In order to succeed, you need to launch risky campaigns on a regular basis with the hope that at least 1 in every 5 will be a massive success. In our second sample answer, the person is not a risk taker. Example: I'm not a risk taker. I'm more of a risk manager. As someone who's been in finance for many years, I can say with a lot of confidence that there's risk in everything. I believe that it's most important to firstly minimize your risks as much as possible, and secondly, to minimize potential damages if everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. During my time working at Investment Bank X, we had a very interesting policy for investing in new fintech projects. We used to avoid high-tech projects as well as anything that had an experimental business model. Our strategy was to invest in proven tech. This ended up being more profitable and significantly less risky.